You see, I told you they'd lose by 10.
Welcome to the Collingwood Rant. I'm Sly.
And I'm not sure what to make of this one. Spook.
You want to wrap your arms around this result, don't you?
I'm going to throw my arms around them.
Okay, before I go off, because I'm really going to fucking go off.
You going off?
Yeah, I'm going fucking so far off. I haven't seen enough of this, and I think more people should be doing this.
When I got here, you said this is the best game you've ever seen in your entire life.
Yeah. What are your immediate thoughts? Because I'll probably talk about 28 minutes.
Oh, look, I really still struggling to know what to make of it. The pressure just wasn't there, and the thing is where I equate this game to a number of games this weekend that I saw, a lot of games were lacking pressure, and it just shows that when you're off by a few percent pressure-wise, just how far you can fall inside of a game. Now, I looked at this, if I had to be constructive, I thought we got nothing really to play for. We're not greatly going to improve on a position. We're going to play this fucking wildcard thing no matter what. It really just came down to who we were facing, and then it turned out to be a lottery pretty much for the next couple of games. At any rate, it was changing every 8 seconds. Brisbane, on the other hand, had a hell of a fucking lot to play for. They were playing for a home prelim. The debacle that's happened with Sydney, it's really obviously put them in a fresh frame of mind, and they were out to smell blood. However, there are things in that game I don't think we coached particularly well with, and the way we managed players didn't.
Something happened at Sydney?
It's hard to. No, actually, it happened here. I don't think we dealt with things, or I think the way that we planned to deal with things didn't pan out any fucking where near was what the outcome.
Let me jump in, because this is, I think, where we are in agreement. You want to treat this like a fucking dead rubber, then treat it like a dead rubber. Rest Nick Dacos, rest Darcy Cameron, rest Dan McStay. Let's have a look at what fucking Harris and Co looks like in the ruck. We might need him in the finals. Let's have a look at what an Anderson, Allen, McCreary midfield looks like. Going young, let's have a look at some of these young guys and give the main guys some rest, because they're not going to get a week's rest from this point on. So this is the opportunity. I know the AFL has claimed, we're going to fine whoever the fuck does this. It's unenforceable. They cannot do it.
No.
It's totally contrary to the reason they actually brought in the bye, which is to get teams refreshed for the fucking finals. So we could have done that. Now, I'm sure someone's running around and go, oh, but it's all about a winning culture, Sly.
Is it?
We're going to win. All right, so play a senior team, which is what they did. What a shock that Howe and Sidebottom came straight back in. I have no problem. You got to get run into their legs.
Yep.
All right, so you're going to bring a senior team in. Then you fucking play to win. But you didn't do that either. You half-assed it. You took half a swing at the game and then said, let's start managing players. Now, this is the fucking other thing that pisses me off, because a few people are throwing this up as a defence. Do you realise, let me pull this back. If you've got a guy come back from injury, you might manage his minutes. That's one player. You're managing multiple players. You know what that means? It means multiple players have to make up the difference. They have to stay on there longer. Tell me, was it part of your fucking plan, McRae, to play McStay for a longer period in the ruck? Because that's what ended up happening. Your best performed forward of the last 12 weeks, you taxed him a lot more than he should have been taxed, because you took Cameron off and he only played 60% game time.
I think that...
Hang on, just before you go. And your compensation for that was, let's put Ned Long in the ruck. So were you managing his minutes? You compromised multiple players by resting other guys. And you could have had like parity across the playing field if you just did not play certain players. So what do you want to actually do? Either fucking rest and treat it like a dead rubber, or play it seriously and play to win until the fucking final siren. This game was emblematic of the way we've treated the whole season. What are we doing? Well, I don't fucking know. We're doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but we're not committing either way. And I actually think the other thing too is you lose by 10 goals, and then you actually start entering the realms of, well, we're fucking with their confidence because we're letting them get smashed. So I actually think this game was so fucking destructive for where these clubs. I don't think we're going to win the grand final or anything.
No.
But I don't think we prepared in a way that was going to stand or be in the best interest of the club either way. And that's what I'm really... I didn't give a fuck about the result ultimately, because it didn't mean anything.
No, that's
but
right.
This is like I think the attitude you went in with was really poor. And that's reflected across the whole playing field. It reminded me a lot of 2-11, the final round against Geelong, where we went in and just didn't give a fuck, and then it was just really poor. Now, look, I know that side was a lot better, but this is about attitude. And people talk about culture, they throw that around quite a fucking bit when it suits them, but they don't use it, or they don't talk about it when it doesn't suit them. So, I mean, this is where I'm really pissed off. It's like, I think they really fucked up with the way they treated this game.
Yeah, look, I think, and look, I don't know, but I would imagine the approach was twofold in that, well, I don't know whether we can, what's the benefit of resting? We've got momentum, we need to keep running in our legs. I don't know what that, I'm just free-falling idea, free-spitting or whatever the fucking term is.
But before you say that, but you've already compromised that by playing Nick Daicos 62%.
No, but that's what I'm getting at is that I don't think they could come up with a decision really about who to rest, and so the next best thing was to just write 60 and 70% on a whiteboard and say, well, that's our target for game time. Let's just keep the rotations going, bench them for long periods of time. Maybe they get a pseudo rest out of it, get some run in their legs. We know the result probably doesn't matter too much.
But did it feel to you also like they actually tried to play, and then when Brisbane started to accelerate away and showed their class, that they then made an impromptu decision, let's call it right now, and now give the players a bigger rest than we intend. And don't forget, Pendlebury is injured, so that's actually exacerbating the game time, the rotations, that other players have to fucking stay on. So, but that's the way it seemed to me. It seemed like they took a half swing. Let's see how we can do. Let's see how we compete against them. When Brisbane started fucking really pulling away and smashing us, it felt like they said, okay, we're not going to win this. There's no point taxing everyone. Let's call it right now. And again, it's compromised the fucking list.
You've seen that plenty of times in the past too. You know, and the one that just popped into my mind was, I think it was the last game of 2002, was it? We played Footscray and round, and they just had the coach change.
Yeah.
And we come out and fucking absolutely were wearing cotton wool fucking vests. We were so
We did that for the
petrified.
last month of 2022.
And it sort of felt like that after half time, that once that burst come on, we really played timid, bruise-free football, and then got punished on the scoreboard. I think there was something said at three-quarter time, because we come out and had that run of 5-6 goals or whatever it was. We got back within 5 goals. I think it was at 32 points or something. And then Brisbane put the foot down again. It's almost like you're making a mini statement about we're not this bad. Here, look what we can do in a burst. I don't know. It's like I said, it's so hard to fucking read what the intent was. This is where
I want the coaching staff to be looking at it and going, all right, what can we get out of this game? What are all scenarios? If we win, it doesn't really matter except for confidence. What happens if we play a young side and get smashed by 15 goals? But we get to rest Nick. We get to rest Cameron. I mean, they're the two priorities, apparently, because they only played 60% game time. The other guy I really would have looked after was Dan McStay, because he's been so important in the last 3 to 4 months. Potentially even Pendlebury. I mean, I think the interesting thing with that game is when Pendlebury went off, that's when it all collapsed. He's been really spasmodic since the West Coast game, but he was actually really good in the limited game time he actually had. So I think the coaching staff should have weighed it up and said, what's the likelihood, or where's this game going to go? And I think they should have profiled it and said, look, we're probably not going to win. We'll try, but we're probably not going to win. And there's going to be a point in this game where we just say, fuck it, throw the towel in and let's just start benching players. If we're going to get to that point, we're better off just fucking not playing them at all. Because, again, you're not going to get that week off. So we're just going straight into finals. And if you're truly believing that we're possible of a flag chance, which I'm sure if they fucking do at Collingwood, because down that hallway they're all optimists, then you need to get some rest into these players at some point, because you're not having any chance to do it now.
There's no weeks off.
So you should have done it. I would have challenged the AFL. I would have said, fuck you. Because every coach and every fucking media commentator said the AFL can't do this. So the AFL has no sympathy for any of this. And like I just said, they introduced the bye before the finals because they wanted to give clubs a chance to refresh and get their best playing list available. So the AFL introducing a game in that week is actually totally contrary to what they claim they're doing. So they've got nowhere to fucking stand. And we know the AFL is a piece of organisation, so if challenged, they would have fucking capitulated.
Oh, it is. I mean, it is what it is, the wildcard round. It is just a fucking money grab, because none of these sides that are playing in the wildcard are going to feature deep in the finals. And you're not getting any breaks. You're getting none of the benefits that any of the other sides are getting. Or the top 8 would have got. You would still got the week off. You denied that. It makes no fucking sense. So the format is just shit.
So they should have just... I would have went into that going, okay, let's have a look at a different, midfield. Let's see if McCreary gets 100% game time in the midfield with Allen and Anderson. Let's see, because Anderson hasn't had a chance to do that. He's been holding up a forward role. Let's see Ned Long in there front. Let's see Harrison Coe, because if Cameron goes down in next week's game, then you're playing Coe without fucking any exposure whatsoever. That's what I would have thought would have been the best way of moving forward, given it was really a dead rubber. Yeah. But again, they seem to have a foot in both camps of like, let's try and win it until we can't, and then we'll fucking just...
I think, while you were ranting there, the one phrase that kept jumping into my head was they were trying to have their cake and eat it as well. You were having, like what you said, you're dipping your toes in both camps, you're having a bet each way. Every fucking descriptive of it was just a strange fucking game.
And again, it goes back to, you can manage players' time, but that means others are carrying the weight. It's not a shorter game. If Nick's playing 60%, that means someone else has to make up the time he'd usually play. And for the most part, he usually plays the whole of the last quarter. So who's doing that? And again, you're playing stay in the ruck. You're playing fucking long in the ruck. And just going to the resurgence, did you see when that resurgence occurred? It was when they fucking pulled Cameron off and Cameron went into the ruck. McStay went into the ruck, and he was really sort of getting physical with Draper, and Draper was shaken for like a brief period, and we started getting all these center clearances. Now, Draper, unlike Cameron, said, I'm starting to lose this. What's the new strategy? And then he just started thumping it forward 10 metres and getting him to run onto it. Well done to Draper for fucking thinking in the moment, how do I change it up? Unlike Cameron, who, after getting pulverised by Meek last week, thought, I'll wrestle Draper too, and let's see how this goes. And when it doesn't work, I'll try it again. You got to appreciate that. And there was a thing, like I just want to point out in terms of the ruck, there was a bit where Long went in the ruck where he was up against Draper, and as the umpire threw it around, Long pulled away and did this little sort of blind turn spinning circle. And you saw Draper sort of going like, what the fuck? Where's he gone? It totally threw him. He still won the tap, but it just sort of showed, hey, when you change it up, different things might fucking happen. I'm not going to go on and on about this fucking game. I just find it really disappointing. And as you said, it's like they wanted their cake and they eat it too. And guess what? You didn't get your cake and you didn't get to fucking eat it. So well done. Congratulations. Good fucking work.
I mean, it's just a really bizarre way of approaching a game. I think you either go in and you go, okay, look, I think we're going to get smashed because we're going to fucking shake things up and do things really bizarrely. We're not going to restructure and try something new. We're just going to limit fucking game time. So you're going to expose a whole bunch of fucking different players for a different type of beating. I think we stuck with them in the first half, didn't we? What was the break at half time?
Oh, that was 3.5 goals up.
Yeah, not an insurmountable lead or anything. But once that torrent came in the third, and I think they really started to pare back, it was like, I think we better do something just to stave off a 100-point loss, because that could have been mentally shattering going into the next
final. I think the 10 goals is shattering. I don't
think either that was the plan at the end. We had that surge.
But you know what's shattering here too? It's like, and go back to the 2011 game, the final round against Geelong. I think it's exactly the same thing. Again, different sides and all that, but you go in with pretty much your best side available. So that's the players who are available. I know Elliott's out and those sort of guys are out. And Maynard's out and it's not going to come back. But you go in with your best side, you try and you drastically fall short. What's that do for your confidence? However, if you fucking rest Nick, if you rest Cameron, if you rest McStay, and you go and win with all these young guys and you lose by 10, 15 goals, the players have a get out of jail free card, because it's like, well, we didn't fucking play a full side. You wait until we get these guys back. So this is another thing I think you fuck up when you play the way you went in. You're not preparing for the outcome, and you're actually you're not indemnifying the players from failure. You're actually saying, well, this is the best hand we've got, and you fucking fell 5 goals short before we decided to pull the pin. Yeah. So you're not good enough. That wouldn't have happened if you just played a really young side. And I would have just done it as a big fuck you to the AFL too. We've been talking about this for fucking 2 years. We've been talking about it like, I want to see what the future looks like. It's great you're getting these kids in. Again, you're not doing it through design. You're doing it because you're forced. I would have actually liked to see him do it through design and just say, let's fucking see what this looks like. And I'll do it also because maybe I'll unearth something that might work for finals. It's like this swaddling thing. You've brought him in. You're playing him at half back. And it's like, fuck, what do we have here? It took you, 20 weeks to do this, and now you've found something. Maybe you try a few other things and see what else you could possibly fucking find. No, because we know what we have. So going onto the side, going into the game, instead of, you going on about this the whole night, You know what I don't fucking hear? Like, just before you take a drink, you hear that?
Is it the sound of silence?
It's the sound of no one from 20 weeks ago telling me, oh, you're a little bit hard on Houston. So you had Adam Simpson, premiership coach, and we all know he's a premiership coach. Adam Simpson on down Houston. The biggest problem Collingwood have going into the finals is Houston. His inability to make a contest or be clean with the ball is really hurting them. So this is stuff we were fucking citing 4 or 5 months ago, and everyone is fucking citing it now. So don't.
I mean, to the point, there's even rumours that he's going to be moved on next year.
Yeah,
and they aren't going away.
Yep. So these are the fucking things that sort of do my head in. It's like people don't want to look at the reality. They would rather cushion themselves with, oh, it'll be all right on the night type of fucking thing. Houston in the second half got some cheap possessions. I thought in the first half he was diabolical. Another interesting one, Matthew Lloyd criticised Josh Dacos. On the footy show, he said he's never seen Josh Dacos use the ball so poorly.
His disposal was terrible.
Okay, I just want to
It has been for a little while.
I was going to say that. This is not a one-off. People going, oh, that was the game, it didn't really matter. We've been saying this for fucking over a year. He's not a halfback flanker. You know when we watch the game, so I watch it with a regular crew, anytime Josh gets the ball, we cringe. Because he does this a lot. He'll turn it over. He'll go for overly ambitious kicks. How many times have I said here, Josh, you're not your brother. Simplify your fucking game. So Matthew Lloyd's highlighted it, but it's been going on for quite a while. And this is like another big problem with Cray is, we've talked about this how often, Josh was a all-Australian winger and best and fairest in a premiership year. And for some reason you decided, let's move him. And then get this halfback flanker in who's been an all-Australian halfback flanker twice, and let's not use him in that role. Now, maybe he doesn't fit in the game plan. Like I saw, I think it was James Bartell talking about Houston saying, well, at Port, they just fed him the ball constantly, whereas at Collingwood, they got Maynard, they got Quainer, they got Josh, so they're feeding it to different people. Okay, that's fine. Then why'd you fucking bother getting him if it's just going to be role-based? You're not going to maximise his capabilities.
It's the scientifically, it's called the square peg round hole theorem.
Well, another square peg. I'm a big fan of the comic Norm Macdonald.
Yeah, yeah?
Yes. So I've only quoted...
Are you going to tell me a story about a moth?
Oh, what a joke. Did I ever show you that Oscar Pistorius joke he does? So Oscar Pistorius, a South African sprinter, the disabled sprinter, with the
Blade
blades,
Runner.
The blades, yeah. And he does this whole joke saying he cheats because he has blades. And part of Norm Macdonald's joke is, I think one of the prerequisites of being a runner is legs. I think one of the prerequisites of being a fucking forward, Lockie Schultz, is being able to kick over 35 metres and kick straight.
It is very noticeable now because in those clutch moments, you sit there and you look at the distance going, there's no fucking chance he's making that. Not even a remote chance.
And the worst thing too is you notice like the moment he gets it outside that distance, he's straight away looking to pass it off. So surely opposition will be going, he can't kick past 40. So look for him to hand it off. And then even when
I think 40's actually been generous.
I said 35 earlier. And the thing too is, he's not a reliable kicker even when he's within range. He's, that miss. How bad was that fucking miss? Don't forget when we played Fremantle earlier in the year, he had a shot from 20 straight out and he fucking missed. And that's actually a pretty regular thing. When he kicks straight on a set shot, that's the outlier, not the fucking, not the norm. He's just not a reliable kick.
And he's been very off since he's come back.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's 100, nowhere near 100%.
The other thing is he loses his feet. My other big fucking problem with Schultz, and players of that ilk are elite tacklers, but then I wonder, why you're an elite tackler? Is it simply because you're always second to the fucking ball? Maybe you need to get first to the ball. So,
well, he's dodging all those banana peels on the pitch. It's like Mario Kart out there for him. They're all, the opposition are dropping banana peels for him to slip over.
Tim Membry?
Who?
Yeah.
That was an interesting one because apparently they managed 90% of his game time.
By leaving him on.
So they said, what are you coming to the bench for? You get more of a rest out there, mate.
Yeah. Look, it's obviously a game of fucking we're outclassed. And I think that's the biggest thing to look at it.
Definitely.
You bring back Elliott and, I mean, I'm not even going to count Elliott simply because you got to get the fucking ball down there. So you would have just taken him out of it. Maynard's a big loss and Quaynord's a big loss. And then Jeremy Howe looked fucking nowhere near right.
That's a shock.
And
I don't mean that nastily. He's been on the sidelines with a busted arm for how long?
It's a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Isn't that just an amazing recovery?
Well, I can tell you. I don't know the way he thinks. I mean, it's professional football, but I've had plates, and I do have plates, and I've been repeatedly warned.
Dinner plates?
Yeah.
I've seen them. They're good.
But you got to watch it because if you do a break when you got a plate in, it's going to shatter the whole bone. And I wonder with Jeremy Howe whether that's in the back of his mind. I've got a fucking fracture around the plate. Geez, I could potentially do a lot more damage, So, because you got bloody something screwed right into the bone. So if it breaks, it's going to be fucking like, a piece of wood that's hammered in with nails, splintering what it's fucking hammered into. So he really struggled. Sidebottom, let me ask you this. If we were playing a qualifying final and trying to get into a prelim, and you were picking your best side, would he be in it?
Not at the moment, no.
Not at the moment, or not anymore?
Not anymore.
So that's another concern that they have.
No,
they don't want to do the right thing by him.
It's experience, and that's what we'll rate higher than ability at the moment.
Yeah. So, but it's like, what does he offer at the moment playing the way he plays? I mean, we'll talk about Swaddling because everyone's a big fan of Swaddling. So,
you can say something positive about a player.
Yeah, I hate them all.
Do you want to just pause and put some sort of dramatic music in or something, make it a moment?
Yeah.
Trombones.
You're playing him at half back, well, not you, but McRae.
I play him at half back.
And he's actually got the defensive ability to jump up and spoil, which neither I shouldn't say neither because there's multiple, which Pendlebury, Rowan Steele, Sidebottom, Josh Dacos don't have. And it's like you're fitting so many fucking square pegs in there, and you got this one kid who's just lapping it up. You finally got one of these things potentially right. Can you just acknowledge that the other ones aren't fucking working? I mean, he shows a lot of composure around the ball.
Oh, it is. I think I said last week, there's an enormous amount of trust placed in him by the playing group for so limited experience because he's so clean and composed with the ball usage, and he's frenetic when he needs to be. He will throw himself on the ball to win it. I think he's just a real pure footballing, see ball, get ball type of player.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's a great one in terms of we always lamented we haven't had exposure to top picks or we've given them up. So we've got under some gems from the draft and hopefully they've found one with him. But Hayes and Harrison, they looked, again, the forward line just struggled in terms of opportunity. It's the sort of game where I was you really fucking needed the Bobby Hill in there.
Yeah, I mean, but you look, I mean, the glaring killer down in defence was Puncher, and that's just through sheer lack of experience. It's a great learning opportunity to be smashed by a number of players, but he was moved around and they started playing through him. It was just an absolute weak link in the chain. But, that's what you had, and he's been performing all right up until now. And against a real fucking good quality side like that, and really it probably shows actually where Hawthorn are at, that you'll get exposed and get exposed badly through just lack of experience.
And here's another thing you got to throw out. So you look at Brisbane, back-to-back premiers. They went out and got a ruckman, even though they had a two-time premiership ruckman in Darcy 4. They had Hipwood, they have Logan Morrison coming up, and they went and got Oscar Allen anyway. They've gone out and gotten fucking quality players. I don't see that they really targeted Jack Buller as part of their three-peat assault. I really wish this club could actually prioritise some genuine fucking class to bring into the side. Logan Morris, we've all talked about how good he looks.
It kills you though, doesn't it?
No, not really.
No, it kills me. I mean, it's only because it's benefit of hindsight stuff. But, he's almost looking like a generational, once-in-a-generational forward. And we could have had him. It's like that moment where Indiana Jones is reaching for the Grail and his dad's going, just let it go, let it go. I think that's what they were saying to Hine. He's reaching for Morris and he's going, let it go, Sir Junior.
I don't have a problem with it.
Take Dematia.
I don't have a problem. He was pick 31, so every club missed him other than Brisbane.
It's odd that he actually lasted that long.
So it's not like we had pick 1 and he went at pick 2 and instead we fucking took Jack Buller or Harry Dematia. So if he lasted the pick 31, everyone fucking missed him. So I don't actually... do you blame Hine exclusively, or was he given the instruction, which we've seen with this fucking side?
We have that ridiculous, and we've been doing it for fucking years, the best available mentality.
Was it the best available, or was it like, let's get some running players in because we have this fucking...
No, I think it's still that best available mentality. It's why we never fucking draft talls. Apart from West, there was an outlier.
But this is why I think part of that is they prioritise, we want guys who can run and pressure constantly. So, and it could be a combination of all these things. But like I said, I mean, it was pick 31. You know, I might as well fucking complain about not getting, I don't know, everyone. What other thoughts you have about this game? I think I fucking covered it pretty well. It pisses me off.
Oh, there was elements that I liked. Like, I didn't mind that some of that resurgence was led again by the youth brigade. I think that sort of augurs well for the future. The older boys were a little bit disappointing again, but look, the fucking reality is with finals, everything resets and starts again this weekend. Weekend coming for us. So it's a whole different ball game. I think you can quickly put this nonsense behind you and get back to the structure and process that probably should work for us. I think we'll probably win the first final, but that's it. We're cactus after that. Again, and it's because the thing is with the wild card, where we are at the moment, it's going to put us back in that perfect opportunity to beat up on another shit side. And we've been doing that really well. But as soon as we're actually confronted with quality, which again was why I don't really rate Hawthorn, because I don't think they have it, we get fucking massively exposed. Who are we beating above us this year? We've drawn with Hawthorn twice. Did we beat Adelaide?
Yeah, we beat Adelaide a month ago. Where were you?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No.
We smashed them over there.
Yeah, but they're psychotic.
They are.
Well, that's one little moment.
Oh, look, you got half the, or you got. I don't know how many of our better players out. I mean, Elliott, Maynard, who are the other guys?
Well, fucking Adelaide, were they celebrating making top 6 or something? They did a Mexican wave.
Did they?
In the game last night? That's how fucked they are. Does anyone from South Australia watch?
I don't know.
Just give them a quick hello, just to make sure everything's all right.
No, I think we'd rest them this week.
Do you know why the British set off all those nuclear weapons in South Australia?
Why?
Oh, because it's South Australia. We haven't offended anyone, have we?
I'm trying.
Put in the comments if you're offended.
Look,
do they know how to type?
What?
These people, do they know how to type?
Don't know.
Oh.
Don't know. They're
just checking.
The goalie was good. Should actually highlight that.
He started really well. He had a good first half.
Yeah.
He looked like he was in beast mode, getting ready for a final.
I should actually mention West. I mean, he struggled in the first half, but he came into it. He kicked 3 goals.
Yeah, I've still got a lot of time for West, which is...
I should be playing full time.
Which is when we bring in Hogan next year and Stringer.
We'll talk about that
and we keep Membry and we keep McStay, that I will get angry if we're playing West at VFL.
Yeah. So look at the Scott Pendlebury's number. So he's injured again.
Oh, he's done. I think that's his last game, isn't it?
We're going to go into that in a minute.
Oh.
But like looking at since that West Coast game, he's played in round 12, round 13, round 16, round 18, round 19, round 20, 21, 23, 24. So he's regularly missed games. Barry Karp said he was being interviewed pre-game, and he said...
By turds?
In the hot tub, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
And Karp,
were they clothed this time?
No.
Oh.
And Karp said that... basically, Scott's earned the right to make his own decision.
I don't think that's the case.
And Isaac Smith said, and I was thinking that anyway, but Isaac Smith said on one of those footy shows, football waits for no one, and you can't leave it in someone's hands.
If there's a club out there that should learn from the fact that sentimentality doesn't always work, it would be us.
Well, Nathan Buckley wanted to play on in 208, and Malthouse didn't let him. Malthouse said it's better to retire for a little bit in the tank rather than play on and end up in the VFL.
No, he said it's better to burn out than to fade away.
Well, Pendlebury, like I said, he was really good in that first quarter. Now, I don't know if he upheld it or whatever, but the only qualification I'll put on this is he carrying some injury that he's had the whole year, and that's what's actually impacting him. But when you're getting like injuries like knee bursts, it's like, how the fuck do you even do that in the game of football? How did you not know that was not him, but the medical staff? How do they not know that's there?
Well, maybe they just misdiagnosed it. So when his hamstring tore off the bone and gathered around his kneecap, they thought it was a bursa. What the fuck is a bursa? Aren't they people that take you in your cabin on a ship?
Like Gopher.
Oh, I did like Gopher. He was good.
Yeah, so do they tap him? I mean, what would you tap him?
Would you tap him?
Yeah.
You don't mean tap him like in a strange sexual way.
No, that's exactly what I mean.
Exactly, yeah, I would tap him. Look, I think you'd almost have to. I mean, what are you going to get out of him next year? Yeah, at some point you've got to rip the Band-Aid off, and I think you're starting to see some of the development of youth, the energy, the drive that they're providing. I know he's really beneficial out there as an on-field leadership, but if that's all he's doing, surely he can sit on the bench and do that. Although I still would rather him go somewhere else and experience another culture. Look, and maybe he should just go and fucking play for Essendon for 12 months. If he really wants to play football that badly, it's not going to kill him to go somewhere else, spend some time with some different faces, learn some different ideas, and then come back when you're a bit more of a broader person. He's only known the Collingwood life.
He doesn't have to come back at all. Lee Matthews never got back to Hawthorn, so...
Well, that's true. I mean, and our track record with favourite sons is fucking deplorable.
Yeah. I mean, there's no reason he has to come back or that we have to hold on to him. It's just let him go, live his career, play his career, wherever it is going to be. It's just a case of, do we play him one more year?
It's like what Sting said: if you love someone, set them free. Free. Set them free.
Sidebottom is retired.
Is he?
I would actually say to Pendles, I think it's time. Again, the only qualification or caveat I'll put on it is if he's carrying an injury, but they know he's carrying an injury, and that's what fucked him up. But at 38, 39, that's not going to get better. And I would seriously look at tapping Howe on the shoulder and saying, I know you've played some good football, but you are missing a few games here and there. And just go, fuck it. You should get Darcy Moore back, and then we'll play with Darcy Moore, Frampton, and Puncher or Noah Howes next year.
You mean, you said Darcy Moore?
Darcy Moore, sorry.
Yeah.
Did I say Darcy Cameron?
I think you did, but maybe you didn't. I don't know.
I
don't listen to you.
I don't listen to myself anyway. I think they need to start forcing these turnovers.
I think so.
And I know fucking Jeremy House plays some good football, but I think they just need to say, fuck it. We need to start getting exposure for younger players, and we need to start moving past these guys. And maybe we just need to take the hit for a year to bring these guys up.
Yep.
But I know we're not going to do that.
No.
Craig McRae's in trouble because he was talking in the press conference about, someone asked him about, the wild card's a bit of a farce. They didn't say that, they're my words, but...
Was it turds?
Yeah, but that's
back in the hot tub?
What was that?
Was he banging in the hot tub?
Banging on the hot tub?
Back in the hot tub. What did you hear?
Bang in the hot tub.
I don't want to be banging in the hot tub. That's Turds domain.
But...
He's got a website,
Well, what is it?
Only turds.
That's probably the funniest thing you've said in 6 years.
No, I don't think so.
But he was talking about the wild card game, and you said, well, you get Collingwood Carlton, Friday night, 80,000, 90,000, it'll feel like a final. And people have taken umbrage because, well, what? So Collingwood Bulldogs, that doesn't feel like a final? How do you feel about that?
That doesn't feel like a final. I think the AFL, though, at the end of the game, when Carlton won on Saturday afternoon, if you wound down the window in your car, if you were driving, you could hear a collective fuck being screamed. And it came straight from AFL House because they would have had an explosive wet dream moment times 10,000. This would be equivalent. This would be equivalent of 100,000 turts in the hot tub, type of deplorable behaviour. Yep. 100 megaton tub. This would have been exactly what they wanted with the wildcard round. You would have had Friday night, Collingwood Carlton, 102,000 people crammed into the G. It would have had a fucking grand final-like atmosphere to lead into the final series. But instead now we've got Collingwood and Footscray and who else? What's the other draws? It's
Carlton Adelaide.
Carlton Adelaide up there.
Yeah.
They're going up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So won't that be a real thrill ride?
Yeah. The Sarnagle was pointing out that McRae makes some. He says some silly things in press conferences, and it's like, I don't think anything he says is actually that silly. Like he talked about, they highlighted. Remember that time we played Sydney in 2024, and we were down by under a goal, and McStay took a mark at centre half forward, and the Sydney player fucking ran right over the mark, and McStay pointed it, but the umpire didn't pay it. But if he paid a 50, McStay would have had a shot from straight in front to put us in front. And McRae said post-game, if that was at the MCG, that would have been paid. And then fucking John Longmire took umbrage and going, oh, well, basically, what are you saying? This is a club that has the biggest home ground event, which we don't. I think that fucking goes to Geelong. But I think the stuff he's saying is generally honest. Like, Collingwood Carlton, yeah, that would be your marquee wildcard fucking game more than Collingwood Bulldogs. I'm sorry, Bulldogs. It's just the reality.
It's exactly that. I think generally his comments are well thought out in terms of the delivery. He says what he wants to be an impact statement without actually getting over the top.
But it also shows, I think, outrage culture nowadays. It's like, well, let's get outraged because he said this.
Mm.
And that goes to what I was going to say next. Because I think I brought this up a few weeks ago, is the amount of hate Nick Dacos gets.
No, it's tall poppy.
But I'm constantly amazed that punters will fucking keep saying he's soft, he skirts outside packs, he takes kick-ins which bloat his stats.
Despite the fact that his metrics all argue otherwise.
And the other people arguing otherwise is like Liam Pickering says he's the best player. He's seen he's up there with Gary Ablett Jr. I think Kane Corn said this is the best season he's seen from a player in the 2000s. Jerry Healy wrote a really good article after the 2023 Grand Final about all of these condemnations of Nick Dacos, like him being soft and untrue. You know, in the Grand Final he was second for hardball gets, I think it was. You have all these football people who fucking played the game talk about how good he is, but all these dickheads on social media talking about how soft he is, apparently. It's really... There's
a lot of dickheads out there, haven't you noticed?
They're mostly dickheads.
No, I think they're all dickheads. And they mostly come at night. Mostly.
Which fits in with what I was going to say next, the Sydney fiasco.
Did they have an alien in there, did they?
And they mostly came at night.
Was there a chest burster?
Yeah.
Well, they fucking pretty much nailed everything else in there. How much time were there in that room? It must have been weeks.
Before we go into, like...
That room? I don't think you can.
Not
without a mop and bucket.
Would you go after any of those 5 players?
Can you, though? I think they're poisoned now. Because the thing is it can only go two ways, isn't it? One, they're either guilty and they're going to get sexual assault's obviously treated, and rightly so, very seriously. So if you get done for that, your career's fucked anyway. So you can't cherry pick them. But if they're innocent, that has to come out rapidly, doesn't it? Before the trade period. No, but
hang on.
For me, to a point, it's like the Taron Thomas thing. It doesn't matter how much you repent and what you do, whatever. You're always going to be tarnished with that moment.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, I'm not saying they are, but in a situation where, let's say, they did nothing wrong, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's a hypothetical scenario. No one's going to believe it. Everyone's going to say the AFL covered up, Sydney covered up, and all that sort of shit. So they're going to carry all that baggage over. I mean, I actually desperately want to get Blakey. Dashing halfback flank. I'd love to play him at fullback, just as a stay-at-home fullback. I think that would be a great fucking place to play at Collingwood. But you wouldn't try and get him and rehabilitate their image. I mean, at Collingwood, it's just going to be tenfold.
No, I wouldn't take one of them. I'd take all 3.
5.
5, is it?
Yeah.
I don't know about the other 2. Are they any good?
There's 4 of them are good.
And the other just take the good ones.
So what would you say if they were Collingwood players?
That was all one big misunderstanding.
How would you feel? I mean, if you were a Sydney supporter, how the fuck would you feel?
I think you'd be extremely...
I mean, you got probably 2 of your best 5 players in there.
I think no matter what, even if it was us, I'd be fucking extremely disappointing because you finished up the top of the table. This is the last game for second last game for the season. You're about to go into...
It was the last because they played North today.
Yeah. And even they couldn't fucking do anything about it.
Fucking hell. What a
useless club. Why do it now? It doesn't make any sense. The fact that you can go out and allegedly if there's drugs involved and alcohol and a bit of slap and tickle, all that sort of stuff, why do you need to do it now?
Why do you have to do it at all?
Well, there's that. But at this point, what I'm saying is about why this time of year do you need to blow off steam? You've got a game the following week. You know, generally but they're all out for dinner and beers and out till the wee small hours and stuff. It just doesn't. That sort of behaviour just doesn't happen anymore. Well, maybe it does in Sydney because, like, I was talking to.
But do you think
I was talking to the Hugs about it the other day, and I was listening to an old Swan podcast, and they had he had Heath Shaw on, and Heath Shaw was talking about the difference between being a footballer in Melbourne and a footballer in Sydney. He goes, you pretty much walk around anonymous. Now, if you've got that cloak of protection over you, if you will, does that mean that you feel like you can start skirting that boundary and pushing it out a little bit more. And then you've now come here to Melbourne and you've tried that and you've just been dropped in the shit big time. Because maybe that's the sort of thing they've been doing in Sydney. Maybe they get a few strippers in. Maybe they all pretend it's the fucking Hangover movie or whatever it is that they seem to enjoy doing, and they do that on a common enough basis that they've been getting away for so long that they got busted here because it doesn't wash.
But I think potentially there's something else at play, which is maybe not just these players, maybe a lot of players do it, and the AFL just fucking cover it up because that's what the AFL does. And that's been a complaint of Eddie Maguire's about this when there's these strikes, players are protected and the clubs are just fucking left at the mercy. And maybe the reality is these guys just said, well, we can do what we want because it'll be covered up, doesn't matter what. Now, again, not defending any of it, but for fucking these players with their profile to be going out and just doing anything, it's just like, surely, how fucking stupid are you? And what I'm saying doing anything, I'm not even talking about the crimes. It's just like, you just fucking won the game. You're sewn up second spot. You're high profile people. All right, have a few drinks, but fucking go to fuck home. It's not like, well, let's now put ourselves in a situation with, strippers or prostitutes. There's a camera that's been set up. There's cocaine. There's alcohol. It's like, at what point do you realise one of those things is a fucking red flag? But you got all of those fucking things. It's like, how stupid are the lot of you? And then to actually allegedly commit the crimes you did, well, fuck you. Fucking you deserve everything that's thrown at you.
Yeah, no, it's just sheer stupidity.
Yeah. And you got to feel for fucking people like Charlie Curnow and Brodie Grundy who have gone to Sydney going, well, maybe this is my chance at a flag.
Fucking hell. Apparently, I got a message before at the end of the game because we weren't watching it, but the Swans players were in tears or something at the end. So it's obviously it'll fracture that playing group. I mean, it's a very difficult thing to forgive and forget, Major.
Any episode of Gilligan's Island when they nearly got off the island and then Gilligan fucks it up. It's something like that. It should be called Grundy's Island. Grundy should be running around hitting him with his, fucking like the skipper. A Sydney friend of mine said, all five of them are done. They can't stay at the club. You got three guys there who, Warner, Heaney, who's the other one? Blakey.
Yeah.
It would be in your top five players, I think, or top.
Oh, definitely.
So that's a big chunk of players going into your playing group. If you were to trade them, you're not going to get value for them because clubs are going to go, that's a lot of shit.
To take them now, it's a massive risk.
If you look at like West Coast and if they went after Chad Warner, that would have been probably a couple of first rounders and a player or something. West Coast would be going, well, here's a second rounder, bring him our way. Otherwise, fuck it. Because what are you going to do? You're going to keep him? Well, keep him. We'll take him in the fucking preseason draft for nothing. So, and Heaney's like 31 also, so his career's all. The other thing too, this really disappointing is most of these guys had partners. So like they're doing this and they got partners. It's like, well, fuck you all. So
not only just partners, pretty hot ones too.
Yeah. So,
but maybe they charge too much for some of the
I did not say that.
No, I'm talking about like going shopping and stuff like that. Maybe the costs are a bit higher.
Yeah, you can fix that one. No. Fucking, and you watched Star Wars: The Acolyte. It's no wonder you've just
it's fucked with my head.
The Bulldogs game, the final, the wild card.
Grand final, wasn't it?
I think we'll lose.
Well, Norton was carrying an ankle injury and he didn't take any part in the rest of that game. So Bond's the real difference with them. Their defence is pretty poor. I think we'll beat them. I'm pretty confident.
Who's he minding? Lucky Shields.
Oh, that's it. But I think we'll beat them.
I think we'll lose.
But that's it. We're not going to win much anything at all beyond that.
I think the biggest loss you can have outside of next to his side is Maynard. And he's
done his MCL or something at light training.
So allegedly he's re-injured his knee. I reckon it's not re-injured. It's just the same injury.
Well, no, there was footage at training the other day. He was in a drill and something happened and he took himself off and he looked proppy straight after that. So he's obviously strained it there and apparently at a light session yesterday, whatever it was that was strained went pop.
Why are they having a light session the day after they played?
Well, because all the strip joints were closed.
Yeah. I watched the Bulldogs and Melbourne game. Credit to the Bulldogs because I didn't think they should have got anywhere near Melbourne.
But they have those little moments and they won't back it up.
Oh, they could.
They could, but they won't.
But they, had Bont, obviously, that Ed Richards. They had a lot of sort of good contributors. Fucking Gawn got about 50 taps to 2. And somehow, I can't believe Gawn dominated the ruck the way he did, and Bulldogs could not win. Bulldogs fucking still won that game. Because you got a guy not only dominating the taps, but actually tapping it to fucking teammates. Not just tapping it, but actually tapping it to teammates. But it was a pretty trying game, so we obviously rested from half time.
Those would be fresh as daisies.
Yeah, why Daisy's fresh?
No, who fucking knows? I'm not a horticulturist.
Just hold back there. Timothy O'Kane, 766. Love the Pies kids. Wow. Pretty happy with the Pies 2026, to be honest. Flags 2027, mate.
Flags 27.
Yeah. It's like fucking working a bad robot.
There is a whole lot of controlled conveniences coming up, is there?
Demon Badger 86. The opening. So that was your acting, your Oscar-worthy acting.
That wasn't acting. That was from the heart.
Mitch Quinn 5280. Boys are back. I'm assuming that's us.
Yeah.
Magpie Army Chronicles. Footy cars attached to the spokes of my BMX bike to make it sound like a motorbike. Thanks for that nostalgic memory, Spook.
Oh, I'm glad you appreciate that, because next week I'm doing a whole hour on my $6 million action figure doll. It wasn't a doll. I don't like dolls. It's an action figure.
I saw something on Instagram. Came up with toys of the 70s, like the 5 best toys of the 70s. The $6 million man one was there.
Oh, he was incredible.
Yeah, like you had the little eye thing that you could look through.
And everything was smaller. It was the complete obvious of what the TV show lied to me.
Age Unearthed. No West Coast pod had me worried that you were silenced by the Collingwood Mafia. Who's the Collingwood Mafia?
Who's that? I don't know.
I'm going to fucking say this because it's the second last show. Because we're going to lose things though. We have actually sent overtures to the club asking for interviews, and they don't just like us.
Overtures, curtain lights.
So, just to let, because people have asked me, why don't you get someone from the club on?
We've been keeping this fucking chair open for years.
The only one is the best.
This fucking thing's useless. He doesn't say a word.
Fuck off. You're useless.
You're the force, things you will see.
Friday's going to tip that over now.
With the force.
Yes, guys. We talk about Jack Chris not missing a game, but Josh Dacos has played 123 consecutive games. And 100 of them have been average. Ashen Prism again. Oh, no, not again. Ashen Prism. The boys are back in town. I expected a belting, to be honest. This is against Hawthorn. Very happy with how we played and kept fighting in the game. No one expected us to win. Why the hell did you mention Andrew Garfield's horrendous Spider-Man movies? Need palate cleanser. Is The Last Jedi any good?
Fuck. Don't get me started. Yeah, we went and saw, what was the first one? The Phantom Menace? What was the
Fast Awakens.
Fast Awakens?
Yeah.
How long did it take? I reckon it was about 30 seconds and I texted you. This is just from the opening crawl, it killed everything ahead of it. Hey?
Yeah. I got a few more minutes because I wanted to be hopeful.
The Last Jedi is excrement.
It's the worst movie I've ever seen. Honestly, it's the worst fucking movie.
Did it subvert your expectations, though?
The thing about The Last Jedi, it's a massive con. It fools people into think it's a clever movie or elevated, all these things, and it's not. It's just really fucking mind-bending.
I disagree, Sly. I now can do the housework at home with the Force.
Fucking hell. Here's my decoder ring with my...
I got it in a box of cereal.
And they're going to give it to an 8-year-old. He won't give up our secret.
Can I speak to General Hux's mum? Can you put the mum on the phone?
Fucking hell.
This is what Star Wars was.
Jeez.
All right, next.
I can't get past that. The trauma of that.
What about space bombs?
What about a fucking hyperspace trucker?
Well, we've had that so many times before in the past.
But we're out of fuel.
But you're a little bit faster than that ship behind.
But they've never gained.
And then we can all leave it and come back later. It's all wonderful.
Fucking, because I went on Friday night.
He started this.
Yeah, I know. I went on Friday night, and I wanted to get out of it, and someone pushed me, and I went flying outside of the apron on the outside the MCG, and I was just totally out of control. But then I went, and I floated back into the ground
like Mary Poppins.
Fucking hell! What a movie! Fuck! I was disgusted. If I could punch anyone's head in, it would be Ryan Johnson. The kids are Jeff Oinoi. The kids did look good though. Will Hayes, who I thought took the longest to get into the game, actually was also playing really tough and hardest against Hawthorn. His scoring was also pure football. Love Swaddling and Puncher when he has a full preseason instead of coming from an accounting firm will only get better in my opinion.
Puncher and Puncher.
Yeah. Dan Houston, last 2 games, not defending him or his acquisition, by the way. I cannot believe you're defending him and his acquisition.
Unbelievable.
Has actually had some
He probably loves The Last Jedi.
Desperate defensive moments that have saved goals. He's just had some really shit kicks from kicking out that has been the bad part. I think there's a lot more.
Is he talking about Josh?
No, he's talking about Houston.
Oh.
Jeff Oinoi again. Was waiting for this. Looking forward to what you have to say. It's against Hawthorn. Fuck me, I was so fucking mad they drew, yet also proud at the same time. 100%, they 100% should have won with smarter 1%ers like rushing the ball and the fucking umpiring. Should mention the Brisbane game. We would have won if for the umpiring. There was a couple of really bad fucking... There was that one where, like, who was it? The Brisbane player took on about 6 guys, got tackled, just dropped it, and it was like, yeah, it's just play on.
I think you just got to go into most games now and concede that the fucking half the decisions are baffling.
And still Jeff Oinoi. This up the game for me. Hawks player has the ball, tries to step 3 players and gets caught by the third. Should do incorrect disposal, not whistle for a free kick. Pies player tries to step one player. As soon as the tackle is applied, the hold on the ball call is made. Same with chop of the arms. Hawks doing it all game and not whistled, whilst we get whistled instantly. The only time it was called on McStave, the Hawks players reacted so badly it was 50 metres. Imagine they're sooking if they had the Pies run with the umpiring. Also stupid snap decisions like paying Houston's deliberate out of bounds after he comes across to bunt a crucial 200-metre play by the Hawks. Cost a point in the draw. West Side Slot Cars. Just on Fly's reaction to the draw. Was he doing that after the loss? The 10-goal loss?
No.
I heard he was doing that.
He was doing this.
Yeah. No, I heard, and they said to him, "Why are you doing that for?" Because you should have said how high I would have got if we'd fucking lost by 20 goals.
No, he looked at the camera and he said, "This isn't the loss that you're thinking of."
And then he showed his Dakota ring.
You can go about your business. Move along.
Do you think we should get Finn in as an assistant coach?
Fatty Finn?
No, Finn from Star Wars: The Sequel Trilogy. He knows a little bit about everything.
He is. He's a very knowledgeable janitor.
Yep. West Side Slot Cars. Just on Fly's reaction to the draw. In the first draw, it felt like a loss because we buggered it up from winning position. The second draw, it felt like a win because when that Hawthorn bloke was lining up for goal within his range, only needing a point to win, I reckon most of us thought we'd lose, which I totally agree. So still 2 points, especially with Swaddling punching the ball in the right direction.
Correct.
It felt like a win. Interestingly, Carlton didn't try to win in the last 2 minutes of their game, and we have heard nothing from the AFL media.
No.
Remember to gamble responsibly.
That's a great point.
Yep. 35 no Nick. If Allen continues to improve and Bo can start consistently producing what he did against Hawthorn, then maybe we're just a lucky Neil and a decent tap ruckman away from another premiership. The question is, where do we get the ruckman from? No, let's stop relying on ifs. If Ned Long comes on, we don't need Tom Mitchell. If Charles Daniel or Reef McInnes comes on. Sorry, this is me. I actually left the note in here. The question is, where do we get the ruckman from? So this is the thing, is what I said, is you've got to stop relying on ifs. You know, the whole time Tom Mitchell went, we said, well, if Ned Long comes on, fucking lost Nathan Murphy, if Charlie Dean comes on, you got to stop speculating. Let's just fucking go get the players we need. So I'm not going to bank on Swaddling and Allen to come on to the point of being an elite mid with Nick. Go get some fucking elite players and stick them fucking in that side.
The more the merrier.
Yeah, and get an elite ruckman or a good ruckman or one that knows how to tap the ball. Robbo 4367. Agree on the Houston commentary and would go a step further to add Perryman. We've played him as an ultra defensive stopper when he should have been tried in the midfield where we've been getting smashed for the most of the year. 100% agree. He'd be an instant upgrade on Long because he's a defensive game with more skill than defensive capability. Parker could play a defensive stopping role. Houston, Perryman and Jay Dacos in defence every week means we've robbed the wings in the midfield of much needed talent. This guy should be coaching. Houston and Jay Dacos are not good one-on-one defenders. They get exposed, and Jay Dacos is an all-Australian wing. Go figure. Would have loved to try players like Parker, Crisp, and R. Steele in defence and running off the flanks with the elite talent across the middle. Yeah, well, he should be coaching, Robbo. Should actually point out, because I did write it down on my running sheet, that's the best game I've seen Ryan still play. He actually played with some intent.
I did message the boys that he bobs up each week and he kicks his two, but other than that, his trajectory so far has just been from vanilla to vanilla to vanilla. But in the last couple of weeks, I'm starting to see something there that I think is probably worth persisting with. So,
I thought the thing with this one, I actually think it's because he's seen what Swaddling's done, where Swaddling's benefited from taking the game on, and it felt like Steele said, I'll do some of that too.
Instead of playing it safe all the time, let's go on the offensive.
Darwin personal training. Okay, lads, I hadn't heard much from you about Nick winning the Brownlow this year. Surely you would have won the rest this week against the Lions, as it's an opportunity for a couple more votes, so he's already got it in the bag. We can't put any trust in the AFL system, right? He'll win by so much that he's not going to get votes for this game anyway.
No, fuck no.
I think he's going to get rebound votes from last year. So go back to 210 to 11. Dane Swan won all the media awards in 210. He had the best fucking year. He was projected to win by 35 votes or with 35 votes in the Brownlow, and he lost to Judd. And I remember saying at the time, if he just has a decent 2011, he'll win, because they'll feel they need to compensate him, because the splashback from that fucking 2010 Brownlow was, how did he not win? And you could tell the umpires are going to overcompensate the following year, which is what they did. He won. Judd had a much better year in 2011, so they got him mixed up. And I think the same thing with Nick. I think
it'll be, I think probably midway through the season it'll be fairly close. He'll be in front. But you'll have the likes of Bailey Smith, who started well, Luke Jackson started well, Bontempelli started well, but those guys all tapered off at varying times and for long periods, whereas Nick's trajectory was just solid. I think he'll probably almost vote or get a vote in most games. There'll be probably, I can only really think of about 2 or 3, including this week, where, and that was, like, you think he got 26 possessions with 60-70% game time. That's not enough in a smashing to get votes. But I think in most games he'll at least, get one. But I think there'll be quite a hell of a lot of threes.
In 2010, we beat Carlton by 9 goals, and Judd got the 3 votes.
Yeah, the difference also this year is that they're taking the stats into consideration, the umpires, instead of just being fuck knuckles.
Stars Jake, rest as many players as necessary, stuff the AFL laugh mask off, so that's in relation to this week. So.
Well, we rested a few in the third quarter.
And Mark Kira, we have people in quotes glazing the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. Good on you blokes for shitting on it, lol. It's a service. That's the service we provide.
He didn't have to work too hard either.
Apparently he's getting his own movie though, isn't he?
Is he a third one?
Yeah.
Or the Amazing Spider-Man 3? Was it The Last Spider-Man? What's it called?
I don't know what it's fucking called.
Is he someone going to find a web shooter in a box, and they'll say, where did that come from? And they'll say that's a story for another time.
I was watching some comparisons of the Spider-Man in the last Spider-Man movies. They talked about how much stronger the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man is than the other two.
Mm.
Like he wrestles the Tom Holland Spider-Man and sort of beats him pretty easy at the end. They talk about, like, in the first movie, a couple of punches he knocks out the Green Goblin. But Tom Holland punches him about 68 times, and Greg Goblin just laughs at him. So talk about how much stronger the Tobey Maguire one is. Like, I still think the first 2 Tobey Maguire ones are, brilliant movies, and in the superhero genre, really, really good. Although I know, because you watched it recently, you're a big fan of Supergirl.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
You had a dog.
What a pointless fucking movie. Oh, geez. Could I see Crypto in every fucking movie?
Do you call your dog Buddy?
Do you know what? If you have Crypto in 47 James Gunn films, eventually he'll do something interesting or funny.
I don't think he will.
No.
Well, the thing is, James Gunn won't get 47 more movies.
No, not now.
It's funny. It's like people want to go back to Zack Snyder. Can someone just come and speak some common sense? That they both fucked it. You don't go back to the other one just because... you've created the choice. Is it this guy or that guy?
Go back and watch Richard Donner's work.
Yeah, but just if you're gonna make a new one, make a new one with someone new, and fucking get some people in charge who know what the fuck they're doing.
Probably those people that are making those little AI things at the moment.
Oh yeah.
Who treat their characters with respect.
Why would you do that?
No.
Why would you do that when you can have Crypto pissing on the picture of Superman?
Yeah, that's the thing I couldn't work out. When they had, what was her name? Helen Slater? Was it Helen Slater who played Supergirl?
Yeah.
So when they had Kal-El and her meeting in the field and talking and stuff, I don't understand why she didn't lift the leg and piss on you. That's how I'm conditioned to think the worth of Superman is now. Is to be pissed on.
Yeah.
And Hollywood's proving it.
What was the movie I was watching the other night?
I can't help you there. Was it on Only Turds?
No, it was something. No, definitely wasn't there. It was something. I might have. No, it wasn't that. But I was just sort of thinking about the way they build movies compared to the way they build movies now. It's just like they took time to build the characters in the world and actually make you care about fucking people.
Like they used to build football sides.
Well, that just broke me. Any final thoughts about your love of Last Jedi and Star Wars: The Acolyte?
No.
What about Collingwood?
No. We didn't do margins. What do you think we'll win by?
No, Bulldogs will win.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I reckon
15 points.
We'll win by 32 points.
Yep. I think just you got the wrong injuries. You're too reliant on Nick. I don't know what their ruck situation's like because they don't have a ruckman, so Cameron might win a fucking tap.
Well, they were ruck and lob against Gorn when it mattered. Was English playing the other night? I didn't see.
He wasn't playing the other night.
Was he injured? Or were they resting him?
I don't know. Go ask the Footscray Rant. They wouldn't have rested him against Melbourne. He's had like an injury problem. It's going to be Bont and Ed Richards versus Nick, and then hopefully the goalie has that game.
Ed Allen will smack Bont into next week. Ed Richards he's an accumulator. He often doesn't do damage. He'll pop up for the odd moment, but he's a good player though.
He's one of those guys, and it's if they get a run on, he's the guy that is going to correct chains and stuff like that. Kicked a really nice goal against Melbourne without a boot on too. But
without a futon,
a boot on. It's I think just we've had a really poor year with injuries, and I think we've prepared as well as we should have. Hopefully we play an attacking game, not some defensive shit that we played last time for 3 quarters.
I think we will.
But it's also, I just think there's problems there that have been glossed over because people don't want to look too deeply and face the fucking abyss. Because there's a fucking abyss there. There's a lot of problems in that playing list. And actually, I didn't mention, I should have brought this up, is this whole Stringer thing. Would you get Jake Stringer?
After the other night, yep.
So 2 years ago, he wasn't right for us, but now he's right.
Yep, because of one game.
Yep.
You know how it works. Look, I don't. You get him cheap. You get him for a year. I don't see it being a problem. However, though, you can't have Hogan and Stringer. If you got rid of Memory, brought Stringer in, I'd be happy.
All that's my proviso is you can't have all these old guys there. But they probably should have got him 2 years ago. It's why they didn't.
He's kicked, nearly 50 this year and 40-something last year. So, you still can find him. He looked fucking magnificent the other night.
Yeah, it's the big problem with the way we're gambling on the aged players is they have to maintain that form. If they have a drop-off, and this is a fucking reality because people keep throwing around on Neil and all, great if they stay exactly where they are right now. But at that age, it's not that hard to fucking hit a wall and just go bang. So that's the reality. And the thing is, you're putting money and years into these guys. So if these guys don't give you that time, it all goes to shit.
Mm-hmm.
If you take and I hate doing the hypotheticals like this, but if you take that flag out of 2023, if that was a grand final loss, that Tom Mitchell trade would have been for fucking nothing. So
yeah, they've got to bear fruit.
Yeah. So and this is the thing is like Tom Mitchell played 2023, played most of the year. 2024, he missed pretty much the bulk of the year. 2025, he just couldn't get a look in because Ned Long had superseded him. But that's sort of what the age players can do. I mean, Mitchell pretty much missed all of 2024. So you're going to bring a lot of these guys in. You're really banking on this working, and I don't have the confidence that it's going to endure.
No, it's a gamble.
And the thing is, you brought Swaddling in. Well, I know he'll be there for fucking 10, 15 years, short of an injury.
That's it. I'm looking forward to seeing who wins the Brownlow every second year.
Or trading him to Hawthorn.
Oh, we could do that.
Yeah, for nothing. So, anyway, that's the way I look at it. So, anyway, any final thoughts?
No.
All right. Later. Oh, right on.
Yep, 32 points. It's probably looking at my groin.
Who doesn't?
That'll do. I think we just end the show there.